3, 2, 1. Alright guys, welcome back. And now the mic works as well. We're off to a great start here. Haven't live streamed in 1 month and then we had no sound. Now we have sound back. Thank you very much for bearing with me with Boomer Bobby after all of those years. It's not getting any better. We had some super chats. Let's start with that first and foremost. Thank you very much, Danimal, for the offline donation. He says, "Hey man, hope the offline Streamlabs are reaching you well. Good to see you back, bro. Thank you very much." And then we had a super chat just now by Pugman, aka the Bobby Pug, who says, "No sound." And the same goes for Ellie Goodgal. She super chatted $10 and says no sound as well. Thank you very much, guys. I did the whole introduction and the whole explanation with no sound. Well, let's do it again, shall we? I have been offline for roughly a month now. So what happened? Let me show you what happened. Actually, I should have done that on my first trial here, but nevertheless, now we can do it even better. Here we are, fantastic. It was right after my live stream with Die Militante Veganerin, the German vegan lady, that this happened. I hope you can see it. Let me try to make it a bit bigger. Yes. So this is my email. This is how it looked like. Copyright claim after copyright claim. And then it proceeded here. Hello, can you please open this up? It won't. Nevertheless, as you can see, I was just scrolling endlessly, and I'm not exaggerating if I would say I got at least 100 copyright claims and community guideline claims as well. Apparently, yours truly was spreading medicinal misinformation, of course, and moreover, I was spreading hate speech too. Now, I already saw that some vegans did a couple of videos and commented on my takedown, obviously. They were quite happy about that, but they reassured that it wasn't them. They weren't the guys that were behind this attempted takedown, but apparently it must have been somebody else, some other enemy of Bobby's Perspective, because Bobby's Perspective is the known bigot or the known racist, of course, as Ryan from Happy Healthy Female calls me. And therefore I attack feminism, I attack LGBTQP, I attack basic human rights, because I am so bigoted, and therefore I made many enemies, the vegan said, so it must be somebody else. Now, I personally do not think that it was Rihanna. I don't think that it was Die Militante Veganerin. I don't even think that it was a particular vegan YouTuber. I really don't think so. I believe it was a community of people, and I have to assume that it was vegans after all, that planned an attack, a even orchestrated takedown attempt, I would have to say. So as I said, it was a mixed bag of different random accusations, nothing in particular. Hate speech here, copyright claim there, allegedly, medicinal disinformation. And so ultimately, all of my, if not, let's say 99% at least, but pretty much all of my live streams have been flagged. And this is the reason why I have to leave them on private for now. I think they're going to stay private, to be honest, because I'm risking a takedown with those live streams in particular. I'm going to reinstate them for members only. That's the only thing I can do. Otherwise, yeah, I'm risking a takedown. Whilst I was getting those emails, I got 2 copyright claims right away. The interesting thing is, I already set the channel to offline. And this is when I got a community strike, and the second one came right away after me putting the YouTube channel already offline, invisible. So I don't know how they managed to do that, but nevertheless, I had to lay low for a while, because just one more strike and then this channel would have been deleted permanently. So I wanted to avoid that, of course. And this is why I laid low. On top of that, I think it was something about 20 days or so. I was banned of YouTube for 20 days. What I really dislike about that is that YouTube doesn't even let you post things. So you're not even able to tell your community. Nevertheless, I was pretty active on Telegram, and I encourage every single one of you to head over to the description box of this video and check out the Telegram link. It is absolutely free. You can join for free. It doesn't cost you anything. And this is where I was pretty active over the past month. I stayed in touch with most people via Telegram. And if everything fails, this should be the safest method to get hold of me. That being said, we will be back stronger than ever as always. We will continue to spread our evil anti-vegan propaganda. I had a lot of reflecting to do over the past few days especially. I had my first high meat, finally. For people that don't know, that is rotting meat. I took a grass-fed steak, I put it in a mason jar into my fridge, and you simply let it rot for 2 months straight. Yeah, talking of the spectrum, I never thought that I will ever be a whole food plant-based vegan because I was a fruitarian. But from fruitarian, I went to raw veganism, and then I went to whole food plant-based cooked veganism. And then I ditched veganism, and ultimately now I'm eating rotting meat. So vegans, think twice if you ever want to ditch your fruits and veggies, because one day, who knows, maybe you're going to be munching on raw, fermented, disgusting, stinky, smelly, rotting meat. I have to say, I had fantastic benefits of that rotting meat. I felt an ease in my gut that I haven't felt for quite some time. I got asked this question in my Telegram group especially, if I still have gut issues. So ultimately I have to say, as long as I'm eating 100% carnivore, I don't have any gut issues. But if I eat certain starches, then I definitely do have gut issues. And that is not normal. That shouldn't be the normal case for anybody. You probably know normal people that never experimented with diets, and rice and chicken should always digest quite well. But nevertheless, when I stray away from carnivore, I do experience certain gut issues that I want to address, and this is why I wanted to experiment with the so-called high meat. The first time that I tried it, I got a little bit high of it. It felt like a drag of a joint, to be honest. But since then, I haven't felt anything on those lines. Nevertheless, it made me reflect, as I said, upon that I damaged myself tremendously with veganism. And I'm not the only one. Most vegan YouTubers are on antidepressants. They have to eat digestive enzymes. They are constantly suffering and telling you about their health issues, but not understanding that it is veganism, and the longer you stay on that diet, the more serious it gets, ultimately. We had an ex-vegan of 14 years here on this channel, just a few weeks back, and she ended up in the hospital, bleeding out of her butt. And that is nothing new to vegans. So, yeah, in the end, ultimately, they will keep on suffering, and I won't be shut down here. I won't be quieted by targeted attacks. I will continue with the information, and I will inform the people and warn the people of the dangers of veganism. Very, very simple. This little break really gave me motivation to come back and to really address those topics one more time. When you edit for so long, like myself, you kind of forget about how important it truly is, especially if you haven't been vegan for quite some time. You forget about all the side effects that you suffered. But to this very day, I would have to say that I still do suffer from slight effects of veganism. And I know 100% that I would be in a much, much better shape if I wouldn't have been vegan ever in my life. And this is what I want to warn people of. Anyways, enough rambling, enough ranting. That is that. Today, guys, I want to do a fun, chilled hangout with you. A little get-together. Unfortunately, I couldn't celebrate my birthday with you. or rather my and my son's birthday, because they're just one day apart. My son just turned 1 year. It was absolutely amazing. But nevertheless, even with this little YouTube break, it was fantastic because we got family together. We had a nice celebration. His aunt stopped by, his grandparents, etc., etc. So we had a great time there. Celebrated my birthday as well a little bit. Last year I did a quick live stream on our birthday. This time, unfortunately, YouTube didn't let me do it. Nevertheless, now we're here. As I said, we're going to do a hangout chat. If you want to support this channel, the link is in the chat box, not in the description box, in the chat box. And you can, of course, donate via super chats. I'm going to try to answer as many questions as possible. And guys, we have a little treat. Tomorrow, we are back to our Sunday live stream session. This is just a prequel, a little warm-up for myself as well. Tomorrow, we're going to have a born vegetarian that started eating meat and found God through that. This is a headline that vegans absolutely hate because vegans are atheists in 99% of cases. So it should be an absolutely triggering episode for those people. It will be roughly around the same time, actually 1 hour earlier than today. We're going to start with that interview. I'm very, very excited for that one. Okay, now let me check the chat. Schön, dass du wieder da bist, Bobby. Dankeschön. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Belated birthday wishes to you both. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Habib says, hi Bobby, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Welcome to the channel. What's up, Bobby? Welcome back. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. Yeah, it feels good to be back, but I have to admit, it felt good to take a little break as well. Here and there, it's not bad to stay away and do a little bit of social media detoxing. I do that anyways once per year, roughly around this time. So this time it was kind of forced, but nevertheless, I usually do it around this time. March, April, May. I always take a little time off. So there you go. It lined up perfectly. Thank you very much, YouTube. Thank you for helping me out. Okay, let me just open up the chat box here on my phone. It's easier that way. 1 second. Here we go. Yo! Thank you very much. Yeah, let me know, guys, if you have any questions. I'm going to answer as many as I can. Of course, the super chats and Streamlabs will be prioritized. If you have any more questions about the copyright strikes, the community guideline strikes, me, racist Bobby, spreading medical misinformation, let me know. Dolly says, hi Bobby, thank you for spreading awareness. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. This is what we try to do here. It is a pretty serious subject, even though we take it, of course, lightly and have fun with it. Nevertheless, it does destroy lives. It's an absolute deceptive ideology, as I said many times. People think they're so altruistic, so pacifistic, just doing what Jesus would do. Even though he wouldn't, obviously. But yeah, that's what they think. They believe that not eating the animals, this is how you save the planet. But ultimately, they're just destroying themselves. That's terrible. The SJWs lost Twitter, so now they're trying to possess YouTube. Might be, man. As I said, to this very day, I don't know who exactly it was. It was anonymous. Thank you very much. Snow says, that's right, Bobby, and the people are behind you. Move to Odyssey. I am on Odyssey, guys. I don't know if I have the link in the description box. Otherwise, just type Bobby's Perspective on odyssey.com. It is a mirror page, and ultimately all my videos end up on Odyssey as well. However, the live streams don't. So as I said, the live streams will be available only to the members of the channel. I think the lowest member fee is $1 per month or so. So I think anybody can afford $1 per month. And like that, you will be able to see all the live streams. I can't reinstate them because of hate speech. Hate speech! Vegan diet wrecked my digestion, says Loco. Yeah, same here, man. You lost gut enzymes, introduce foods slowly. That's the funny part, right? Because one food in particular that I cannot at all digest anymore is potatoes in all its forms. So be it sweet potatoes, be it taro, be it regular potatoes, be it baked, cooked, steamed, or what have you. I can't eat any potatoes, but potatoes is what I really tried to eat in the end of veganism a lot of. I really tried to eat more potatoes than simple white rice, for example, because potatoes, especially the purple Japanese potato, comes with antioxidants. It's so healthy for you guys. So therefore, yes, I was trying to eat a lot of potatoes, and the vegans will let you know that ultimately, the more you eat of the food, the body slowly but surely will get used to it, and your bacteria will change, and then you will be able to digest anything, even beans, in just the first 3 days or so. And then you will be perfectly suited to digest beans. Yes, yes, believe me. Strange though that vegans still fart after years of eating beans. Yeah, anyways, nowadays I cannot digest any potatoes whatsoever, no matter what I try. It doesn't work at all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it. Are you going to leave them up on Odyssey? Yes, I'm not deleting anything on Odyssey, as I said, just the live streams, they won't make it to Odyssey, because Odyssey is not mirroring live streams, which is a shame, to be honest. It just mirrors the videos. Great that the older videos are spared, Bobby, says Iliad. Yeah, 100%, man. I was able to save pretty much all of them, aside from a few. They're still there, but they are set on private. And some have been deleted. The Macedonian government, yeah, probably. Has to be the vegans, man. Yeah, I wouldn't know who else. David Moresco, thank you very much. Good to see you, brother. First and foremost, applause to you and everybody that donated so far. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. David says, been a while since I have been able to catch a live stream. Once again, here's a little something to support you and the channel. All the best to you and yours. Thank you very much. And David, it has been a while since I live streamed altogether. So today is the first time in roughly a month. This is why I explain in the beginning of this live stream what has happened. So ultimately, a lot of strikes, a lot of takedown attempts, but now we are back, thank God, all good. I hope you're doing well as well in Australia. I don't know if you moved from Western Australia or not. I don't know how the situation is in Western Australia nowadays. I hope it is eased a bit. I know that last time we chatted, it was quite terrible, and they wouldn't let you work without a jab certificate. Yeah. Anyways. Thank you very much for the generous donation. I hope everything is well in Oz. Appreciate it. Pink Supremacy says, I think you should wear a Ryan wig from now on, Bobby. I think so too, man. Ultimately, I'm just jealous. He's just jealous of my hair. Bobby just wants everybody to be bald like him. That's what it is. That's why I made the video, because I am ashamed of my boldness and I can only get sleep if Ryan finally shaves his head. Please send this video to Ryan. Ryan, I really mean this. I am so complex about my boldness, and as long as you have this luscious, beautiful Asian male haircut, I cannot sleep at night. I feel terribly disturbed, sad, angry even, and I am jealous, as you said. And on top of that, I'm a racist. Yes. Actually, the hair made me racist. At first, I wasn't racist, but then when my hair started falling out because of the boldness, I decided to become a skinhead and then ultimately a fascist and a Nazi. And this is why I absolutely hate Asian male haircuts. You got me. I truly apologize. Sorry. We got another super chat by Uwe. Thank you very much for the generous donation. He says, it could have been Lichtblick. He's a German vegan and a friend of the militant vegan. He seems very spiteful to me, and he runs the vegan Discord where you had the debate. He could have encouraged his followers to flag your channel. It happened right after the debate. So that's that. And he was friendly-ish to me. He seems very, very disturbed and mentally ill. I think he has been vegan for quite some time. Again, I cannot say who it was, so I'm not going to point the finger until I know. I don't think I'm going to find out anytime soon. It was a targeted attack by many, many people. So therefore, it could have been in his Discord, but at the same time, I was on his Discord, so I would have seen it if they would have communicated in their Discord itself. So I really don't know who it was. Nevertheless, we are back again. Let them suffer, let them cry. And anybody who got offended because I wrote F vegans when I got back to YouTube, the F is of course for forgive. Get your mind out of the gutter, guys. What did you think? Of course it means forgive vegans. Anyways, thank you very much for the donations, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gung Fu says, remember to like the stream. Yes, please do, guys. Please leave the stream a thumbs up. With that, you're helping this channel despite the algorithm. I hope. I don't believe it anymore, but it would be nice. Just leave it a thumbs up. Let's try. Let's try. Bobby, where are you from? What is the accent? The accent is a mixture of all kinds of things. Not because I am a mixture. My parents are from Macedonia, Northern Macedonia. And therefore, I am Bulgarian. That is another controversial topic here. But yeah, my parents are from Macedonia, Northern Macedonia. I grew up in Germany, however. Therefore, I have somewhat of a German accent, I would say. Maybe a little bit of a Balkan accent here and there. And then I traveled the world. I spent 2 years in Australia. And then Thailand, Bali, areas like that. Always in contact with Aussies, however. But yeah, it's a mixture of all kinds of things. I'm self-taught when it comes down to English. In school, I'm a dropout, more or less. I didn't really learn much English in school at all. I learned it from movies. So I'm self-taught, and that is my accent. It's a mixture of everything. I am very ashamed of my boldness, guys. Absolutely. As a male that's bold, it's terrible. He does have a German-sounding accent like Arnold a bit. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a bit of a German accent. Steven says, I eat a plant-based diet, don't claim to be vegan though. That's fine. I would recommend not to eat a plant-based diet. Sup. How are you doing, guys? How are you doing? So good to see everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. So nice to connect with you. Love of the Isle says, Macedonians are descendants of Alexander, just they speak a Slavic language like English are Celts that speak a Germanic language. Yeah, but that subject goes a bit deeper, and Macedonia itself is not restricted nor limited to the boundaries of the state Northern Macedonia. So Macedonian land would be in Bulgaria as well, in Pierian Bulgaria, and would be the Aegean Macedonian part of Greece too. So therefore, that would be what we consider the center of Macedonia. However, Alexander the Great has been born in the area of what is now Greece. So that is that. And on top of that, Alexander has been taught by Aristotle himself, which is undoubtedly one of the greatest Greek philosophers of his time, maybe of all times. And therefore, to claim anything but Hellenic roots of Alexander would be, I think, kind of ridiculous, to be honest. But on the Balkan, everybody wants to claim Alexander and his glory. Nevertheless, the Slavs have a totally different tradition, totally different customs, totally different history and pride that they could take in based on, be it Christian Orthodoxy, be it the alphabet, the Cyrillic alphabet, be it the horo, the dances, etc., etc. There are many, many things that they could be proud of, but they choose to be proud of Hellenic history, but hate Greece. Go figure. Okay. Those chemically imbalanced vegans are going nuts over Bobby. Yeah, it's quite interesting to see. Many of them seem to have quite the obsession. During my offline presence, or the lack thereof, I got audio mails of Vegana via Facebook Messenger. Yeah. The guy is still in love. His heart bleeds for me. It's very, very sad. Bobby's perspective, all Greece loves you for saying out the truth regarding Macedonia, brother. Truly appreciate that, says Ioannis. I had a very good friend, Ioannis, in Germany. We called him Yanni. But yeah, the truth is the truth, man. I don't have an ego in that. Ultimately, no matter what the history of your country is, it won't change anything about you as a man. That is that. So you can take pride in that, of course, but ultimately it is not your accomplishment. So you should honor, of course, your ancestors, but it's not your accomplishment. You as a man will still have to fight on a daily basis and make a living and accomplish something great in this day and age, in the now. So therefore, I am not patriotic when it comes down to claiming certain heritage and basing my identity upon that. But nevertheless, Alexander was most definitely as Greek as we would understand Greek to be. That's just what it is. So he definitely didn't speak Slavic, and he definitely didn't have the Slavic Bulgarian or the Slavic Serbian, for that matter, culture, nor the Albanian culture. It's just what it is. Highland Fleet Loot, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Nice that everybody's tuning in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have 190 viewers. Guys, leave me a thumbs up. Support the channel via Streamlabs or Super Chats if you can. Otherwise, just a quick thumbs up helps a lot. Thank you very much. Imagine the vegan teacher appearing here in the chat. I would actually like to talk to her. That would be cool to have her on. Maybe we can get her. I don't know if she does live streams, but she's definitely welcome. Anyways, as I said, tomorrow we're going to have a born vegetarian that quit vegetarian and veganism, as far as I know. I'm going to have many, many questions for her. And then started eating meat and reconnected to God. Amazing. We love you, Bob. Thank you very much, guys. Love you too. Really appreciate it. As I said, guys, check out the link for Telegram in the description box so we can stay in touch in case something happens again. Bobby, what is your opinion on fat, almost zero carb, hard-aged cheese, such as blue cheese, cheddar, parmesan, etc., being incorporated into a carne keto lifestyle? Yes, perfect. Go for it. 100%. There's absolutely nothing that I can say against that. Very, very little people have issues with zero carb cheese because there is virtually no lactose in it. And moreover, you have fantastic bacteria, especially in blue cheese. So you're just getting benefits. It's fantastic. High fat or high protein? For me personally, right now, high protein. But depends on what you're looking for. Was machen deine Kryptos? Tot. Richtig tot. So the question is, what's up with the crypto? Yeah, the crypto is terrible at the moment, absolutely. But if I would make a recommendation to people that are into crypto right now, even though this is not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, I wouldn't get too scared. You have to see the whole thing in the grand scheme of things. People that got out, good for them. Let me put it that way. If you got out, let's say a few months back, would have been the smartest, and then now or soon would be a perfect time to reinvest. Thank you very much, Omar bin Thabit. I hope I pronounced that correctly. 10 bucks. Thank you very much for the generous donation. And we have a super pear. Is that a super pear? A super fruit flying sticker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. As I was saying, the best scenario would have been, but I hate to speak in would have, should have, could have, that, yeah, the money would have been taken out a few months back and now reinvested. But nevertheless, I didn't do that. So I'm just hodling forever. I'm accumulating. And therefore, I am not too afraid, even though, yes, I'm losing big time on profits at the moment. In a 5 years frame, or even in a 2 or 3 years frame, I'm pretty confident that I'm going to regain everything and more. Nevertheless, now I wouldn't get too afraid. I would wait maybe till June, so 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And if Bitcoin drops to 29 or maybe even 25,000, who knows, or maybe even less, then would be, of course, a fantastic time to buy. People then will be very, very scared because they will assume that Bitcoin will go even further down, under 20,000, but I personally don't believe it. So I don't think that it will go further down than 20,000. I can't imagine that at all. So therefore, this will be the time to buy more. So if you have liquidity, if you have some money, I personally will definitely put it into crypto and then, God willing, see it grow again. I bought $20 of Luna yesterday. I received 107,000 coins. That would have been worth 12 million a month ago. Yeah, that is so insane. That's so crazy. Who knows? Who knows if Luna will ever make a comeback? Right now, it doesn't look like it at all, but who knows, man? Maybe that's the best investment you ever did. That's crazy. We have Islam questions. Yeah, that was great as well, because over the past month I could study more. I'm reading the biography on Muhammad at the moment. I'm studying Islam further, and it has been a phenomenal journey so far. I absolutely love it. You only lose profits when you take profits. I see it the same way. So I'm a very, very bad trader, but I would say that I'm a fantastic hodler because I have all the patience in the world and I don't get emotional about it at all. I only put money into crypto that I really don't need. So it's just play money for me, even though I put quite a bit into it. But even if it all just would evaporate, sure, I wouldn't like it. But at the same time, I wouldn't kill myself over it. I read some headlines where people really wanted to kill themselves now. They said they lost 400,000, their life savings are gone, and now they want to kill themselves. Suicide is the only answer, so quite scary stuff. I personally really wonder why those people tick like that, because, I mean, if it wasn't for Luna or something on those lines, if it is just Bitcoin, where they lost money now, or Ethereum even, or even Cardano or DOT or whatnot, I would just not look into my wallet for a few months and then you should be fine again. Don't kill yourselves over crypto. Thank you very much, Gung Fu. I really appreciate it. He says, happy birthday, Bobby and little baby Junior. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, for guys that don't know, we just celebrated our birthday. My birthday is on the 29th of April, and my baby boy is on the 30th. I was hoping he will have the same birthday as me, but of course, he's a special little fella, and he wanted his own birthday, so he waited a day. But it's absolutely amazing, because this time my birthday was on a Friday and his on a Saturday, so we have our birthday weekend, which is kind of cool. Next year will be Saturday and Sunday, so it's kind of cool like that. It's lined up right next to each other. Okay, anyways, let me check what else is up here. Bobby's Perspective, I sent you a very interesting video 1 week ago on Facebook regarding Mount Athos. It is a short and it has subtitles in English. You will love it. Oh, thank you very much, man. I'm going to check it out for sure. That's right. I have a significant investment in crypto and just sit tight. It's coming back now. It's the time to buy. Exactly right. That's the whole point. So no matter how hard it will dip, the only regret that you could have is that you didn't take it out further. And with taking out, I'm not talking about taking profits or spending it, just putting it into your fiat wallet or into a stable coin or whatnot, even though stable coins, I don't know if you saw that, UST, completely decimated, so scary stuff. Nothing is stable within crypto. But nevertheless, to reinvest it now, yeah, that could be the only regret, because you could have tripled, quadrupled, or 10x'd your money. But if you didn't, well, just sit tight. That's just what it is. So taking it out now, yeah, I don't understand why anybody would do that. If you really can take it out now and put it back when it dips even further, so you're that precise, okay, then have fun. Me personally, I'm just leaving it there, not looking into the app, and that's it. Didn't the Slavs come and mix with Balkaners like Saxons in Britain at Bobby's perspective? Yeah, that's a very, very interesting question, and the honest answer to this, and I think any historian would agree as well, is that we don't really know. So there is no 100% proof on the history of the Balkan at all. What we know partially, so what we assume is that the Balkan lands have been populated by Thracians, Illyrians, Hellenic people, and ultimately, after a while, at some point, Slavs must have migrated. That would explain why the, presumably, Thracians adapted the Slavic language. That is the assumption, but we don't know. I mean, if you look at countries such as Poland, they spoke Slavic since I don't know when. So therefore, maybe the Slavs have always been around on the Balkans. Some people claim it's a migration from Russia. Could be. We don't really know. We don't exactly know why the people started speaking Slavic, why they adopted Slavic culture, etc., etc. We simply won't know. What we do, however, see is that the same genetic people kind of split up into different ideologies. So be it Hellenism, where they became Greek. So you had Bulgarians that became Greeks, and vice versa. You had Turks that became Bulgarians. You had Bulgarians that became Turks, etc., etc., etc. So the nationalist view of one homogeneous people is definitely not the case. And this is what I thought back in the day when I was in my early 20s. I thought the Turks are distinct, the Balkan people are distinct, the Greeks are distinct, but ultimately you will see a lot of admixture, and you will see the identical DNA in a few people in all of those countries. They're just alike. There's a lot of assimilation of different peoples in different countries, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, but to answer your question about the Slavs, nobody really knows what happened. It's an assumption, it's a hypothesis. Man, just stay away from that scam crypto market. Crypto has no value in reality. It's just a big scam for fools. No, I definitely disagree. The value is given by the people. Ultimately, your money that you're using right now has zero value. So there is no gold standard at all. Zero, literally. And therefore, you have inflation, etc., etc. So the most ridiculous money that we do have right now is fiat money. That's just what it is. I never knew about Balkans if it wasn't for Bobby. I see, that's very, very interesting, man. We have a mixed bag of topics here on this channel. Be it politics, be it the Balkans, be it religion, be it diet. I basically talk about anything I have on my mind. That's why it's called Bobby's Perspective. Fiat has no value either. Yeah, as I just said. Absolutely. Bobby, are you still Orthodox? That's a very, very good question. I would say that ultimately, still culturally, as I always have been, Orthodoxy probably will always feel like home because, yeah, this is what I grew up with. This is what I saw as a kid. It always feels like a homecoming when I go to those churches. I haven't been to a church in a while. I will visit churches again when I am in Macedonia this year. So I will definitely examine it very precisely and very stringently. But that being said, ultimately, this is my upbringing. But Orthodox, to be truly Orthodox, we have to obey, I would say, the law set of Orthodoxy, or at least agree with all of it. At least this is how I see it, because ultimately I cannot call myself something if I don't fully agree with the ideology. However, that being said, as I said in my videos as well, I know for a fact that I make a crazy number here, 90% or so of so-called Orthodox Christians don't really understand the Christian Orthodox theology or the theology of the Trinity, etc., etc. Thank you very much, Raw Fridge. I'm going to respond in a second, bro. Let me just finish my train of thought. Yeah, as I was saying, I would make the bold claim, because I'm bold, Ryan, that 90% of Orthodox really don't understand their theology. You see a lot of Orthodox converts on YouTube that are very, very well versed within Orthodoxy because they chose that religion. Obviously, they will be well versed and they know much, much about it. Much, much more than your regular Orthodox Christian that has been born Orthodox. I would say that applies to pretty much any religion. So, for example, when I made the video on the Quran, many Muslims reached out to me and told me that ultimately I studied the Quran more than them. They never read the whole Quran. Again, doesn't apply to everybody, but plenty of people are simply born with a religion and they identify culturally as that religion, but they don't really know much about it. And this is my claim here. I still say, and I stand by it, that most Orthodox Christians from the Balkans really don't understand the theology about Orthodoxy in general, and they don't understand the theology of the Trinity either. So now, if I would live in ignorance, if I would live in a state of perpetual whatever, then I would just say, yes, I'm Orthodox and that's fine. I wouldn't think further. I know people with fat golden cross necklaces that are so proud to be Christian Orthodox, but can't tell you one story of the Bible. That's just how it is. So me personally, I am a truth seeker and I always overanalyze things and I have to dive deep into it and fully comprehend them. And therefore, I cannot say that I am a Christian Orthodox by the standard of Christian Orthodoxy. This is why, jokingly, I called my video I am a heretic. Even though I couldn't care less what people think of me, I really mean this. I'm a firm believer in God. I'm a monotheist. And I fear God and His judgment and nothing else. That's pretty much what it is. So therefore, if I'm seen as a heretic, that is totally fine and even amusing to me. I am well aware of the heretics. I'm very well aware of Arianism. I'm very well aware of Christian Unitarianism. I'm very well aware that Christian Orthodoxy claims that Islam is simply Arianism in a Arabic flavor. I know all of those things. I know about the Gnostics, etc., etc. It's not that I'm just, well, I don't believe in this and I'm making up my own stuff. No, I'm simply telling you that culturally, yet again, I feel like I have a home within Orthodoxy still, but I do not agree with the core concepts. And that's just how it is. Me personally, I'm monotheist. I would even go further and call myself a monist, but that is a topic for another day. And ultimately, I cannot agree with Trinity. I simply can't. I researched that field for years, and it isn't true for me. So no matter how I look at it, philosophically, intellectually, it's not true for me. So I am a firm believer in being congruent with your own worldview and to not pretend to be something. That's very, very pathetic. Of course, on the internet, we see a lot of that. People pretend to be something that they're not. So I never pretend to be something that I'm not. I do certain things, and if they agree with me, fine. And if they don't, then I do something else. Okay, I hope that answers the question. Thank you very much. Again, everybody that supports here via Super Chats and Streamlabs donations, guys. Even as little as $1 goes a long way. Thank you very much for your donations. Raw Fridge says, good to see you back, Bobby. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And he says, when are you going to go live with the 3 Muslims again? Are you really considering becoming a Muslim? Lastly, what are your thoughts on raw honey? Cheers, brother. Okay, let's start with the raw honey first. That's easier. Raw honey I absolutely love. I eat it almost every day, especially raw manuka honey. Raw manuka honey always helped me when I had a flu or something on those lines. But, as I said in my previous live streams that are not online anymore, last time when I got the Kurats virus, it didn't help, unfortunately. So last time it didn't help. Before that, every single time I would have a flu, it had humongous medicinal benefits for me and for friends as well. They all had fantastic experiences with raw manuka honey, but raw honey in general is very, very healthy. I absolutely recommend it. So now, when will I be live with the three Muslims again? I don't know. We're still in touch on WhatsApp, but we will see. So the first live stream was just 1 hour, and I always like to babble, so therefore we could have different topics that we could talk about in the future. If they have me on again, they said they want to, then I will be live with them again for sure. It was fun talking to them. And are you really considering becoming Muslim? It's very hard to say. So, as I said in my video, reading the Quran was the last thing on my mind, and considering becoming Muslim, just by that definition already, was something that was completely out of the question. But reading the Quran, it had a profound effect on me, especially if you take it into the context that all of those words, such as Islam and Muslim, they mean something. So, for example, Muslim means a believer, somebody that submitted his will to God. And Islam means exactly that. It means the submission to God. So within that definition, I believe firmly that I am already there, because I see myself as a monotheist that submits his will to God. And that's how much I can answer on that topic. The rest is still an exploration, and I will see where it leads me. But thank you very much, everybody, again, for the donations. Bobby, can we get another Rihanna video? Yeah, sure. If he makes a what I eat in a day video, then we definitely gonna make a response to it. They're just too entertaining. So Rihanna said, I'm doing it for clout. As I showed you, how much was it? I already forgot, honestly. Was it 20 bucks? 25 bucks? Something on those lines, maybe less. That I made on that one video. And come on, man. I beg you, for clout. Ryan is getting... Let us check this out real quick. Come on. Let's do it. Let's make this a bit more entertaining. I have a good computer now, so we might as well. Let me check this out. Happy Healthy Vegan. And Happy Healthy Vegan Bobby's Perspective. Let's just compare something real quick before I tell you what I think about it. This is really hilarious. Happy Healthy Vegan, Bobby's Perspective. Here we go. Fantastico, mucho, bellissimo. Okay, so now, let's have a look. Here are my videos about Ryan. I hope you can see this, man. It looks kind of small, no? Like this is better. Okay, so let's go to Happy Healthy Vegan first. Let's check the video that I responded to. Should be a bit back now. See, I'm watching his videos even. Let me have a look. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Day in the life of Ryan, workout, meals, and haircuts. So now, when I responded to that video, I think it was at roughly 1.5 thousand views only. So roughly 1.5 thousand views. So now, after I made a video about him, he reached 3,000 views. Okay? So you can see it. Other videos, for example, 1.7 thousand views. Let me make this bigger. Can you see this like that? I hope so. So here, 1.7 thousand views, 1.9 thousand views, 1.7 thousand views. So you see a pattern, 1.8, 1.6. Here we have some with 2.2, 1.4, 1.6, 2.1. Only when he reacts to Joe Rogan, and he blames me for making reaction videos, when he responds to Joe Rogan, he reaches 6,000 views. So it's very little, especially in comparison to his followers. Now he doesn't display his number, but the last time I checked it was over 100,000 followers. So in comparison, this is very, very little, of course. Anyhow, my point being that he had roughly 1.5, 1.7 thousand views, okay? And now after I watched and responded to his video, he has 3,000 views. My video, on the other hand, on him, this one, Ryan Happy Healthy Female, has 12,000 views. My response to him has 23,000 views. Happy Healthy Rihanna has 11,000 views. Happy Healthy Vegan What I Eat to Become a Middle-Aged Woman, a classic, has 47,000 views, almost 50,000 views. So he blames me on using his channel, his content, to generate more clicks and to generate clout. This is why I'm using him. But the reality is, of course, that he benefits of my channel, if at all. And again, let me clarify this. This is absolutely ridiculous either way, because I, with those 11,000 clicks, made 20 bucks. Wow, YouTube. Full-time job, thank you very much. And he, with 3,000 views, made, I don't even know what, 3 bucks, 5 bucks, what have you. So, if anything, I helped him get a little bit more views, but it can't be anything about money here. Let's be completely honest. On both sides. So no, I'm not getting rich off making videos about your haircut, Ryan. And you're not losing views either. You're gaining views through me. So you should thank me. That's just what it is. Anyways, thank you very much again for the super chats, guys. Appreciate it. That's hilarious. YouTube is so ridiculous. That's insane. This feels good, man. Feels good to be back to live stream. I actually really, really enjoy this. Okay, now, let me see. Ryan, aka Advanced Tactical Soylent. Something on those lines. Did you see Healthy Crazy Cool? He came back explaining his health problems, stomach and nerves. No, I haven't seen that. Thank you very much. Actually, let me have a look then. And you know what? Let's just do this. Let's just really have a look. Healthy Crazy Cool explaining his health problems. Yeah! Super healthy and crazy and cool. Okay, let's have a look. And yeah, I haven't seen that, so I'm definitely going to make a reaction video to that then. That would be a great video to come back, I would say. Let me have a look. That's one. Why I had to disappear and I couldn't say anything. Rehab pain. Yeah, okay. Let's have a quick look. And then I'm gonna stop it somewhere 2 minutes in or 3 minutes in, and I'm gonna do a response video. The funny thing is, first and foremost, the funny thing is that he's not a homosexual. I mean, at least not openly. Yes, sexist Bobby. Yeah, bigot Bobby is back at it again. But I was convinced that he is gay. And he's not, apparently. He has a girlfriend. Nevertheless, I made a video about him, I think, 2 years back. And he was convinced that he's going to put on a lot of muscle mass and he's going to gain mass now on his vegan diet. And honestly, he looks even skinnier than before. It's crazy. It's not really crazy. It's just what veganism is. Hey. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's go. Yeah. But okay, cut to the chase, man. Right after. Okay. He seemed always tweaked out. I naively assumed that it was simply the caffeine and the sugars. Many vegans look tweaked out, but it's not surprising. Okay, but anyways, is it a drug rehab story now, or will he talk about veganism as well? I guess I would have to watch this video in depth. Okay. Okay, anyways, guys, sorry, but I have no patience for this. I will have to watch it on twice the speed and look for the parts of it where he actually talks about issues with nerves, with health issues, etc., which led him then presumably to drugs. We'll have to watch it in detail to then make a response. I thought there's going to be just about veganism, but apparently it is a drug issue as well. Which again, if your diet makes you so happy and healthy, crazy, cool, you wouldn't need any drugs. Go figure. Anyways, thank you very much for the video. I'm gonna save it in my React, there we go, playlist, and then we can most definitely react to it. Can afford a soy latte now. Yeah, pretty much, exactly. Is it really true? Are there really 20 confirmed suicides over Luna? Yeah, it might be. It might be that people really spend all their money on it. It might be. No sound? Really? There was no sound? Again, sound issues. Sorry, guys. Wow. Fantastic. Classical boomer moment, number 2, fantastic. Anyways, the video wasn't really exciting at all. The guy simply talked about having a drug issue and being in rehab. I have to look more often into the chat, guys. This is so embarrassing. Okay, volume 0. Yeah, it wasn't 0 again. Sorry, guys. Luna is dead, brother. Yeah, seems like it. Okay, anyways, as I said, I'm gonna look at that video and then react to it. Šta ima, Bobby, kako je život? Život je dobar, hvala. How's my life? I'm being asked. So far so good. Being a happy daddy. I like it. Send Goku again, yeah. Yes, send me super chats. Send me super chats so I see that I'm not having any sound on. Absolutely amazing. First the mic, then this. Anyways, as I was saying, we're gonna have a born vegetarian on tomorrow that converted to dirty flesh eating. It's actually her. Let me see. Here we go. The channel is called Ahana. And she was on the Jesse Lee Peterson show just 6 days ago. Should be quite interesting. I saw this little segment here and reposted it, and then we got in touch, and now she's gonna be live on Sunday, so tomorrow should be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. Quite interesting to hear of people that grew up vegetarian. Whilst traveling, I met many Indians, and I think she's Indian as well. Many Indians that grew up vegetarian. I can only imagine. It's definitely terrible, but nevertheless, as a vegetarian, at least you're getting some saturated fats, proteins, etc., etc. As a vegan, you get none of that. That's a shame. Anyways, okay, I'm back in the chat, guys. 10x a day, not too much. Depends on you. Yeah, I should just invest 100 in HODL. If it goes back to 30k in the next bull cycle in a few years, it will be 100,000. Yeah, why not, man? If you want to gamble, I mean, what is $100, right? Might as well try. Buy Luna on the dip. If there ever was a dip, it's now. But I think they took it off Binance completely. Let me double check. Let me see if Luna is still available on crypto.com. I would be interested to see that. I heard it's off Binance completely, altogether. They just moved it. Let me see. Luna. Nope, can't find it either. It's not on crypto.com either. No, here it is. Hey, it had a 150% increase. And now it is at 0.0003774 cents. There you go. Looking good. But as you see, it can still rise. So never give up hope, eh? Wow, that's so brutal. I'm looking at the scale here, the graph. Wow. From $70. Even from 90. I think the highest point was almost $100. From $100 to 0.00001. Wow. Ay, that hurts. That hurts bad. Yeah, but anyways, those suicides, it could be. Who knows? Have you heard the story about Callum Van Moga? Did you hear that, guys? Really terrible stuff. Callum Van Moga, so-called Arnold Schwarzenegger 2.0, suicidal in the hospital right now after a suicide attempt on crystal meth, apparently. Wishing him well. I hope it wasn't due to crypto. But yeah, a lot of suicide attempts lately. Sad. Okay, anyways, let me head back to the chat. Let me see. Here we go. My sound is still on, yeah. Fantastic. Okay, they took it off Binance, but then they relisted it later. Hey, who knows? Honestly, man. Putting in $20, $100, you never know, right? Might as well. He jumped out of the window on meth. Yeah, and he tried to stab himself before that, apparently. They didn't lose their money, rich people stole it. Yeah, it was definitely a planned attack as well. Shiba, yeah, I'm not into Shiba. I know her channel, I didn't know she was born a vegetarian. Yeah, I just reposted her clip and she said that she's been following me since I was a raw vegan. So that's absolutely crazy. I think we're gonna have a lot to talk about. But yeah, we're gonna do a ex-vegan interview first and then go from there. Okay. I'm fascinated with reading stories of those who died on Mount Everest lately. Great time passer. Okay, that's pretty dark. Bobby, now that you have read the Quran, you should read The People versus Muhammad, Psychological Analysis. Okay, you know what? I'm going to entertain this for a second. Let me see. So, let me see what that is. The People versus Muhammad. Psychological Analysis. That's something. Okay, let's have a look. Let's entertain this. So we see an American flag in the background. Let me make myself a bit smaller. I'm too big. Here we go. Fantastic. Okay, so The People vs. Muhammad, Psychological Analysis, Kindle edition. On that note, I got a Kindle for my birthday. Where did I put it? It's away. I want to show you. I got a Kindle Paperwhite. So cool. Now I can read more books. Anyways, so we see an American flag here in the background. And then we see The People vs. Muhammad. Okay. So can we see some intro here? Read with great interest and was very impressed by the level of research committed to the project. Katie Hopkins. Okay, has done something incredible, blah, blah, blah. In The People versus Muhammad, international best-selling author J.K. Shandling psychologically analyzes the founding father of Islam while putting him on trial for crimes against humanity. Okay, so what I would like to say there is, first and foremost, without reading the book, what do you think that if we would psychologically, with modern day psychology, we would analyze all prophets, don't you think that they would all get a psychological evaluation that would claim that they are totally mentally disturbed because they are hearing voices, because they are in contact with an invisible friend? Wouldn't you think that would be the case for all prophets, right? So a psychological evaluation is meaning very little to me. This is modernist thinking. This is liberal thinking. We're gonna analyze on the sources and make a claim about people that presumably were in contact with God. That's just how I see it. So he chose Muhammad here. I'm pretty sure that you could do the same for Moses. You could do the same for Noah. You could do the same for even a Buddha, etc., etc. Is Islam a religion of peace? Was Muhammad the true and final prophet of God? Is the Quran the fulfillment of the Bible and legitimately continuing the traditions of the Judeo-Christian scriptures? Quite interesting as well, because Judeo-Christian is a terminology that was coined just a few decades back. So back in the day, there was no Judeo-Christian values. Just letting you know. Perhaps one of the most audacious, shocking, unthinkable, and highly controversial ideas to ever be conceived. The People versus Muhammad places the founding father of Islam on trial for crimes against humanity and to challenge his self-proclaimed authority. With the growing threat of homegrown Muslim jihadist terrorist attacks and the ominous cataclysm of a global holy war, there's no doubt Islam has become a burdensome issue which has our own Western governments perplexed. Yeah, so just by reading this introduction, I have zero interest in reading this book. Thank you very much. I would say following. If you want to learn about Buddhism, maybe you want to ask Buddhists. If you want to learn about Christianity, maybe you want to ask Christians. If you want to learn anything about anything, you should ask the people that are actually practicing it. I think that's a fair bet. And then if you want to do your own research, maybe you should read their sources. How about that? And that's what I ultimately did, because I was in the same mindset here. I was in the same Western delusional mindset where I thought, oh, Islam is such a big threat to our Western society. Until I fully realized that Western society is based on liberalism, and I hate liberalism. And anything would be better than liberalism. Let's just be honest here. And any real Christian would agree with that as well, because Christians that claim that we are living in a Christian Western society are delusional, because we certainly do not live in a Christian society at all. So we're living in anything but a Christian society, and moreover, as Christians, we are suppressed in the West. We are not allowed to show any religious affiliation, no matter where we go, in many, many countries nowadays. And moreover, of course, now you're a bigot if you simply speak out what the Bible claims. For example, Leviticus, I said it many times before, if you see a male laying with a male, you shall surely put them to death. That is the Bible. That's what the Bible says. So therefore, no, Christianity is not homo-inclusive. It simply is not. That's just what it is. And hence, Christianity as such is extremely suppressed in the West and under constant attack. Continuously. For decades now, but especially the last few years, have been horrible. You will have to bake the gay cakes for the gay couples, otherwise they're going to shut down your shop. We had many, many incidences like that. So therefore, the Christian conservatives that are protecting the West, they're not protecting the West. They're not protecting their values. They're protecting the liberal democracy, which is ultimately completely against them. Wow, it's mind-blowing. And if I see such a book, it's just ridiculous to me. The People versus Mohammed. It's from a modernist or postmodernist standpoint, where people use psychology as a tool to analyze ancient people's contact with God, with angels, etc., etc. If you analyze any figure within the Bible, you would come to the same conclusion, probably, as this guy came to the conclusion with Muhammad. That's just how it is. So therefore, thank you very much. I'm aware of such people. I'm aware of people that make it their life's job to dismantle Islam. I personally study Islam for what it is and make my own conclusions. Merci beaucoup. All right. Veganism is a moral philosophy. Prove me wrong. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's moral necessarily, because essentially it harms humans, so therefore it's definitely the opposite of moral. But I would agree that it claims to be an all-encompassing moral philosophy, even though it isn't. So ultimately I would say it's a religious belief. Bobby hasn't answered me about alcohol in Islam. I haven't seen the question. Guys, if you really want your question answered, then you will have to send a super chat. It is what it is. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can, but I cannot possibly read all of them. As little as $1 you can send through super chat or Streamlabs donations. Thank you very much. And then I will be able to respond to it. But yeah, your question I haven't seen. Anything take your brain? I can't read this. Okay, being fascinated. Let me see. Let me just restart the chat. It kind of froze here. People love to pick and choose what they want to believe and what they don't want to believe. The people's ego has gotten so inflated that no matter what you tell them, they'll tell you blind. They stick blind to the truth. They stay blind to the truth. Gotcha. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, let's be honest, with certain religions, they come with flavors. It is what it is. So Buddhism comes with an Asiatic flavor. Islam comes with an Arabic flavor, obviously. And Christianity nowadays comes with a very European flavor. If you look into Orthodoxy, it's the only one that comes with this ancient European flavor, the Greek flavor, if you will. And therefore, sometimes the truth is hiding behind a cultural context, and it is hard for people to accept, which is absolutely understandable. Shrimpay says, brother, I love your beard. I saw your video recently. Thank you very much, bro. I appreciate that. It's a terrible book. They use modern standard of living with the time of the prophet. It is crazy because you could do the same on Christianity. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. It's ridiculous to think like that. It doesn't make any logical sense whatsoever. And as I said, the attack on Islam comes from alleged Christians, but then if you look at their framework, if you look at their mindset, if you look at what they are promoting, you will realize very, very clearly that they're not promoting Christianity and dismantling Islam. No, they're dismantling conservative values, talking about jibber-jabber all day, and ultimately promoting liberalism. That's really what they do. It's quite shocking. Bobby, how do you feel after reading the Quran? Clarified, I would say. A lot of clarification and confirmation of things that I naturally believed. That's how I would say it, to make it as short as possible. Other than that, I made the whole video on it, so there I explain it long, but ultimately just a clarification and a reminder, and it just took a lot of concepts that I started infusing into my faith by wishful thinking. It just removed them again and gave a lot of clarity. That's how I felt after reading the Quran. Yeah. Anyways, I want to share a picture with you guys. I hope it's going to open up. Let me see. It doesn't open up. Why? Let me just restart this quickly. It is a picture about the conflict that we see nowadays, especially on the internet, of Christians and Muslims debating and arguing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Ah, I noticed I actually can't show it here. I can't show it at all due to, yeah, you know what, you know who. Guys, you will have to join my Telegram yet again. I am not able to show you this here. It would be hate speech, I guess. But anyways, I think that true conservative Christians, really true conservative Christians, and I use the term conservative loosely here as well, because conservatism is a political stance, and that coin has been termed roughly 1945. So before that, we didn't had any need for conservatism because people were normal. But nowadays, conservatism is used politically, and I would say it is misused politically, of course, and ultimately isn't really representative of Christian values at all. Christian values might align with plenty of things within political conservatism, but not with all things. And there are many things lacking within conservatism, political conservatism, that Christianity would offer. And this is why I find it ridiculous when I see Christians that call themselves Christians and Christian conservatives. Either you're a Christian or you're conservative. You can't be both. Your religion should be the ultimate frame, and then you can be a conservative on top of that, if you will, but not a Christian conservative. It's ridiculous. Okay, we have another super chat here. It just shows up in my chat box and not on the stream. Let me see if it will.
Let's create
There
a
it is.
bright, green future where we all feel compassion.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And M, he says, Dr. Omar Zaid is a great scholar that gives a fresh insight into Islam. He's an ex-Freemason and Christian, now Muslim. That's very interesting. His website is linked to YouTube. I'm definitely going to check that out. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. An ex-Freemason and Christian. Interesting. And now Muslim. Dr. Omar Zaid. Sweet. I'm definitely going to check it out. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Interesting stuff. As I was saying, ultimately Christianity might agree with certain conservative talking points, but to be identified as a Christian conservative is ridiculous because you're either a Christian or you're not. And then the political ideology might agree with a few points of Christianity, or even with a lot points of Christianity, but it won't be in the position to replace it. But Christians are already totally fine with secularism, so with having an absolute separate, godless state. And they would be happier, apparently, to live under this godless state rather than an Islamic state. Even though an Islamic state would be a religious state, in which you could practice your religion as well. So that's strange to me. Ultimately, I was at the same page back in the day. I even had Muslim viewers reach out to me and they would tell me things like, hey, the Christian Orthodox and the Muslims, we are the best friends in the end times. And I would just brush it off and laugh it off and say this is absolutely ridiculous. Of course it is not. They're the Antichrist and they hate us. But yeah, for the lack of better words, this conservatism, conserving the family structure, conserving the religious baseline in society, I think that we agree with much, much more than that we disagree with. That is, if you are a true Christian. That's it. And if you are not, then it makes all the sense in the world. I was watching this debate with David Wood and Daniel Hakikachu, and it was blatantly obvious that David Wood was not representative of Christian values. Not at all. He was representative of liberal values. 100%. Okay. I can only dislike but not like the video. YouTube is up to something. Is that really the case? then dislike it. Why not? Christians need to have more children and raise the birth rate. That is the only solution for a successful population of the planet with a single ideology. There's nothing else you can do, hands down. So all the talk, ultimately, no matter what you discuss, be it revolutionary thinking, this, that, back, forth, the best thing you can do is create more children. That's it. Especially in this depopulation agenda, at this current day and age, the best thing you can do is create more children. Hands down. I'm living in France, and around here, I would say easily 80%, if not more, in this neighborhood, I would say 90%, is Arabic, or is Muslim. Is, I think, from Algeria, Morocco, countries of those sorts. And I always go out with my kid to play here. And those guys have 10 children. They have plenty of children. The minimum is 3 kids. Minimum. And then you see a French mother with 1 kid, and that's pretty much it. So it's just obvious. So people will say, might makes right, that is wrong, etc., etc. But ultimately, guys, God put natural law into this world as well. So there is a part of might makes right as well. There is a part of survival of the fittest. I'm not a Darwinist, I'm not an evolutionist, but ultimately aspects of those ideologies of course hold true, otherwise they would just fall apart right away. So yes, aspects of those ideologies do hold true, and therefore, yes, the stronger will survive, the fitter will survive. Those things play a role. And even biblically, God said, be fruitful and multiply. That is the only way. So if you don't want to be a minority, stop complaining and start getting a wife and children. And this is, of course, why Islam is superior as well on that level, because Islamically, you can have up to 4 wives. And with that, you can generate much, much more children. I mean, imagine just, let's say, 4 kids with each. That's 16 children. There's no chance that you could create 16 children with 1 wife. Absolutely impossible. So with that already, you have an advantage. That's just how it is. And this pacifistic worldview that many Christians, especially nowadays, adhere to, it's just not based in reality. So, for example, we all love peace. And that's fantastic. We want to have a peaceful world. But the reality is that it's not a peaceful world. That's just how it is. So therefore, every country needs to have a military. That's just how it is. So you might not want to, but in order to protect your peace, you will have to have that military equipment in order to be able to protect your peace. Otherwise, you will get run over. That's just how it always has been. And if you start to become pacifistic and you start dismantling, defund the cops and then defund the military, etc., 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 then you're just left open for a takeover. That's just how it is. So therefore, all those critiques that criticize Islam for military strategy, for example, or for having 4 wives, they're not taking into consideration the reality of things. That's just what it is. So the reality of things is you do need a military strategy, and every single country, to a certain extent, has their military strategy. What is happening right now? Ukraine, Russia, NATO, what is happening? So yeah, countries do have their military that will defend their country because other countries might have different plans. And it's always like that. That's just what it is. Islam, on the other hand, addresses that and has a military strategy and has a strategy for population as well. And has a very, very firm codex when it comes down to male and female, etc., etc. So if you attack those things, you really have to ask yourself why you attack those things. Could it be due to your brainwashing already? Because ultimately, what is the other option? What do you really want? You want a liberal, pacifistic society. Thank you very much. I'm going to respond to it in a second. What do you really want? Do you want a liberal society where everybody can indoctrinate your children? They can have, what's the name? Tranny happy hour in kindergartens, whatever. Right? and everybody can run around in a LGBT rainbow thong, half naked, with their penises out. I've seen that before in Berlin, on the streets and parade, and have no military at all, and think that that's gonna go somewhere. So let's weaken the whole population. Let's eat soy on top of that as well, and let's just see where it takes us. That sounds good. Or would you rather have a society that has a baseline, a structure, and has a firm belief in God? Tough choice, man. Tough choice. Okay, anyways, thank you very much for the super chat by Zaiku Amon. Hey Bobby, first of all, happy B-Day to you and your kid. Thank you very much, I appreciate it. Now to my question. I'd like to eat meat every day. Would that be too much? No, of course not. Just follow your gut instinct, and if you want to eat meat every day, you should eat meat every day. I eat meat every day, every dish, all the time. Raw meat as well. Rotten meat too now. For the Christians, God's name in Aramaic, the language of Jesus, is Allah. Yeah, or Eloh, or Allah. There are different interpretations of Aramaic, which, by the way, Aramaic is like a, I don't want to say primitive, but like a first base to Arabic. So Arabic originated from Aramaic, they say. And yes, it's true. Jesus said Allah or Eloha. We don't exactly know what the exact description of it is, but it's very, very similar to Allah, of course. And moreover, Jesus said, peace be with you. And this is what Salam Alaikum means, essentially. So, as you can see, Islam has many of those ancient traditions and those sayings of the prophets and keeps them alive, which is, I find, quite beautiful. Anyways, thank you very much, everybody. Let me head back to the chat. I hope I answered your question. Again, meat every day is not too much. Don't be afraid of meat, please. Animal foods are the most nutritionally dense foods on the planet, especially organs. You should eat meat every day in order to be healthy. So don't be scared of meat. Okay. Happy B-Day, Bobby. Good to see you back, bro. God aids everything. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate it. God bless you. Hello, how is your health after going carnivore comparing to when you were vegan? As I said, I'm not carnivore 100% all year round. After veganism, I went carnivore. Carnivore is hands down the diet where I have the best digestion, where I feel the calmest, where my gut is just relieved fully. It's absolutely beautiful for me. Health-wise, yeah, ultimately it was damage repair that without meat I couldn't have done. The vegan diet deteriorated me completely. Tooth decay, digestive issues, depression, anxiety, which is super untypical for me, and libido loss, etc., etc. So yeah, brain fog on top of all that. Absolutely horrific. And with the meat, I started healing slowly but surely. But as I said, to this very day, if I'm straying away from the carnivore diet too much, then I get digestive issues. So I have to stay as close to a carnivore diet as possible. Yeah. There is no healing on a vegan diet. It's absolutely impossible. Okay. Zyko says, I will eat meat every day from now on, inshallah. Mashallah, bro. Do that. Okay. Had beef liver 2 times today. Fantastic. Just listen to your body and eat what you want to eat. That's how I see it. I'm just depressed most of the time because of what I saw and went through. I don't know what punishment is fitting for these doctors. I have all the evidence in their own records to prove it too. Okay, I don't understand the context. Glad to see your channel back. Continue with your awesome content, Bobby. Thank you very much. Yeah, next week I really hope that I will get back to content again. I have to do some reaction videos again. I haven't done anything for the past few weeks. As I said, was well rested through it. It was very, very nice, but slowly but surely we will have to start dismantling vegans again. The Arrow Hunter says, brother, glad to see you. Always a pleasure. Happy birthday, by the way. Raw, stay strong and stay a man. Thank you very much. Last time I checked, I was still a man. I don't think that will ever change. God made me that way. So, yeah, thank God. Still a man. I appreciate it. Vegan Bobby was part of the journey. You have first-hand experience. Absolutely, man. I don't regret anything in my life. It has to be that way. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here warning about it. So I had to sacrifice myself for it, for veganism. It's all fine. It's all fine the way that it is. I have no regrets when it comes down to it. But if I wouldn't be on YouTube, wouldn't, shouldn't, couldn't, then I rather wouldn't have been vegan. Let me put it that way. But again, thank God it all worked out this way. And now I'm here warning people of veganism. That's fine. Somebody has to do that job, apparently. The worst thing anybody can possibly do is judge a whole religion by how other people interpret that religion. If you want to genuinely find the truth on Islam, then you do your own research. Yeah, like with anything. I mean, ultimately, what I noticed was quite interesting as well, because I like to think of myself as, I know it sounds arrogant, but as an independent thinker. But ultimately, I was very, very humbled in that as well, because we are not independent at all. We are all products of the time and the surroundings, everything that we are consuming, consciously and unconsciously. And ultimately, my bias was so strong that, yeah, God works in mysterious ways. I don't even know how I was able in the end to actually research Islam at all. But coming from my background, as I said in my videos, the bias was so strong that I didn't even see the bias. Ultimately, for me, it was just fact. I've seen the Muslims. I know what this is about. Point blank. Don't try to convince me otherwise. And now researching it further and further and further, really doing my research by myself is a very amazing experience, I have to say. I learned a lot from that. Nowadays, when I research other topics as well, I've experienced an objectivity, even though, of course, in the end it will always be subjective, but I experienced an objectivity like I never had before. So that is thanks to studying Islam as well. Okay. Alright, now, let me see. F durians? What? No, man, I love durians. I will always eat durians. Bobby promote raw cow milk and raw honey. They're medicine. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. But I wouldn't know how to promote it now necessarily. I don't use raw milk because I simply don't like it. Raw honey I eat every day, and I talk about it occasionally. Hey Bobby, do you believe that the Bible and your belief in Jesus is truth and the only way to salvation and to heaven? By the way, you're awesome. Thank you very much. We would have to unpack that question. What does that mean? And I don't want to pull a Jordan Peterson. What does it mean? But what do you mean with that? My belief in the Bible. So I believe that the Bible is a collection of different books. It has been written over thousands of years. I do not consider the Bible as the Word of God, but I see the Bible as a revelation, partially, and then partially as a historical book, and then partially a book of sayings as well. Thank you so much, Bobby Pugman, for the generous donation, the biggest donation of tonight, I think, with 20. Nah, David was bigger with $35. Thank you very much, Pugman. I appreciate it, brother. He says, can you get durian over there? Unfortunately not, but God willing, I really, really want to visit Malaysia soon. So who knows, maybe I will be able to head over there at some point and then most definitely enjoy the best durian on this planet. I really cannot wait. It's the best food on the planet. And I say that as a meat eater and as predominantly carnivore. I love durian. I can't wait. So no, unfortunately here, no durian in France. Many other good things in France. No durian, however. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe very, very soon. Okay. Bobby, when you come to Bosnia, you are welcome to have a barbecue at my house. Thank you very much. I will take you up on that offer for sure. Cevape. Lawrence says Muslims are kinder than a lot of people, living myself in a Muslim neighborhood. Yeah, I have very, very amazing experiences here in France, I have to say. In Germany, not so much. But at the same time, I was in a bad mindset in Germany. So it could have been down to my mindset as well. That doesn't negate the fact that plenty of Muslims, quote-unquote Muslims, or born Muslims, that I knew were involved in criminal activity. But nevertheless, here, since I'm a dad, running around in the neighborhood here, everybody's Muslim, and man, absolutely nice people, absolutely friendly, fantastic. Anyways, I was answering the Bible question. Yeah, as I was saying, so I believe in the Bible is a wrong phrasing. I would say I appreciate the Bible for what it is. It's an absolute epic tale, a collection. I don't think any other book has been written over such a long time or compiled over such a long time like the Bible. The Bible has been compiled over thousands of years and has therefore different aspects to it. So they have sayings in it that would compare to hadiths, for example. Then they have revelations in it as well. I'm a firm believer that we can find the word of God within the Bible, but not at all times, because that's not what the Bible claims either. And then we have historical evidences in the Bible as well, stories within the Bible. So quite interesting. So you asked me if I believe that if I believe in the Bible and believe in Jesus. I do believe in Jesus. Is true and the only way to salvation and to heaven. By the way, you're awesome. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. No, I don't think so. I have to say that as well. I know that any fundamentalist will believe that only through his religion you will enter the kingdom of heaven. I firmly believe that it's all in God's hands, and it doesn't matter so much which affiliation you're with if you're not truly practicing the underlying reality of it. So what I mean with that is, for example, by reading the Quran, I read the Quran not thinking about the religion of Islam. I stopped thinking about the Muslims for a while, and I was just absorbing the text itself and the meaning of the text itself. And ultimately, I believe that I found the red thread, so to speak, the underlying reality, which is total submission to your Creator. Welcome to the channel. I can't read that name. So, total submission to the Creator. And the Bible says the same. It says, love God with all your heart and might. Right? And the commandments, you shall have no gods before me. So ultimately, I think that this red thread, this intuitive understanding, is instilled within us. And therefore, I personally, right now, if you ask me, do not believe you have to belong necessarily to a team, but God will judge you by your heart and by your knowledge and what you've been presented with and how you lived your life ultimately. Because there is this whole saying about, okay, if you believe in Jesus, you're automatically saved. I personally don't believe that. I don't think that you are automatically saved if you believe in Jesus. The argument for that will be that we are all born as sinners, and because we are all born as sinners, the sin is so great that we cannot possibly overcome it anyways, and therefore Jesus will act as some sort of judge in front of God. But at the same time, he is God, remember? So that doesn't make sense to me at all. I don't think so. I believe firmly that you are accountable 100% for what you have done. 1000% accountable. There will nobody be there for interference between you and God. I don't see it that way. I can't see it that way, no matter how hard I try. So therefore, I personally have to bring this outrageous example. It has been brought forth before. One person believes 100% in Jesus as his Lord and Savior, but is a rapist and commits all kinds of atrocities. The other person does not believe that Jesus is his Lord and Savior, simply believes in God and does good deeds and never sins. So who goes to heaven now? If we follow the Christian doctrine, the hardcore Christian doctrine, we have to say the first person goes to heaven right away because he declared Jesus as his Lord and Savior. And I don't think it works that way. But I have to go further here and be completely transparent and honest. I don't think by just declaring the Shahada, for example, you will get into heaven either. So I think most Muslims will agree with that, of course, because you have 5 pillars of Islam and you have many other things too. But ultimately, this is what I liked about Islam too when I talked to Muslims, that there was not a jail out of free card, and moreover, there was no guarantee, not a 100% guarantee that you will go to heaven. And I think we don't have it. So we should always strive to be better and better and better and better and really, truly follow the will of God. And then God will ultimately decide. So therefore, no, I personally am not a fundamentalist. I don't believe that only through Christianity you will go to heaven, hands down. Otherwise, I mean, obviously I wouldn't read the Quran if that would be my perspective to begin with. Anyways, thank you very much, everybody, again, for the donations. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it because you saw it. I made I looked it up, $17 on Rihanna's video. So we have to pay the bills over here. Thank you very much. Bobby, did you see Frank Tufano's recent upload? It's a little weird. I think it always has been a little weird, to be totally honest. But no, I haven't seen it. Should we check it out? Might as well. Okay, I'm gonna have a look. I haven't checked Frank's channel in a while. Let me see. It's his last upload, yeah? Okay. He's still alive, that's good. He seemed very, very mentally unstable, so I hope he's doing well. Here we go. Okay. The world is run by evil people and I've had enough. Okay. Okay, Frank. Let's have a look. It's true though. The world is definitely run by evil people.
You guys have had me joke one too many times about disappearing to Russia or Colombia with some Eastern European ladies, perhaps some Spanish mommies, and...
Or perhaps some Eastern European boys.
That's a reflection of
Maybe.
my current mental state and how unhappy I am with how things are generally going. I've been trying to stick it out for years and years now, and this past week has been especially bad, and I just get more and more upset the more I try to stick it out. So I figured I would fill you guys in on some stuff, and maybe someone has some ideas to help me out. What actually triggered this was...
He's severely, severely mentally ill, and I'm not saying that to mock him, quite the opposite. I really wish you all the best in case you see this. I wish you well. I don't think that social media is a good outlet for people like this. He tried to be an actor, he tried to be, I don't know what you call it, porn actor or porn performer or whatnot. He's extremely obsessed with his looks, doing jaw surgery and whatnot. Very, very feminine traits, of course. He's homosexual as well, which is a sign of delusion. It happens. I have a cousin who's lesbian, so I'm not judging you or anything like that, but it's a sign of confusion as well. And therefore I think you should stay off social media altogether. Honestly, I don't think it's going to make you happy. And the same applies to plenty of people on YouTube. It's just what it is.
Some more bot spam on my comments that didn't go through from, these people that have been harassing me ever since the rat started plagiarizing my videos. So I'm not going to name them. I'm not going to say specific things because last time I did that, the video was taken down and that defies the point. But generally speaking, anyone who's successful, especially nutrition influencers, especially people on YouTube, the people that control the world basically, they work together to manipulate the masses to make money off of them.
Yeah.
I happen to be in the middle of it because, when I started
Okay, this is absolutely phenomenal, man. So yeah, delusions of grandeur. Here's what, 99,000 subscribers. That's an okay following, that's good. But it's nothing that the elites would ever care about. Your information is not unique either. You're talking about, I don't even know what he's talking about nowadays, so I can only talk about what he spoke about back in the day when I actually watched a few of his videos. He spoke about nutritionally dense animal foods. That is not so rare on YouTube, believe it or not. You're not targeted by the Illuminati. You're not in the middle of it, Frank. You're delusional. You really are.
started YouTube in 2016, my goal was to improve people's health. Just did my own thing for a few years, working normal jobs still, helping a lot of people. And then as soon as I started my business and money got involved, things got really, really ugly, especially considering all of the creative ideas I had. So, back when I started the nutrition stuff, carnivore diet, grain-fed beef, that was really it. Now, every time I go on TikTok, every time I go on YouTube, every time I go on any social media post, more so in the past 2 years, I can name a dozen influencers off the top of my head that are ripping things I came up with, stuff I've never heard before outside of my YouTube channel, pushing it as their own information, trying to gain followers as, health gurus and all.
Okay, so again, it's not even your information. And I'm not mocking you, yet again. I think that you made some good videos. I really do. I think some videos that you made were good. Was some good information in those videos. But ultimately, that information has been already out there. So if you look into Western A Price, if you look into diets in general, primal diets, etc., it's nothing new. It's all out there. You didn't reinvent the wheel. It has been out there consistently. And what you're describing is simply the nature of YouTube or social media in general. People bite each other's content. Yeah, they all do it on all levels. If they should have done that, in this case with your content, which I kind of doubt, but let's say they did, there will be nothing new. Why are you so upset about it?
All that type of
I don't
stuff.
get it.
This includes doctors, and these people aren't just copying me, they're copying other people too. And those people.
And talking about copying, I remember this when you copied Dr. Eric Berg. You know it yourself. You copied his content 100%. You stood in front of that billboard there and started pointing and started painting things just like Dr. Eric Berg. You copied his stuff very, very accurately.
People seem okay with it, which is crazy to me. What the point is, and the point of me bringing that up is, I'm censored on all social media. My ideas are already out there. I can't call out these people. I can't talk about these people because those videos get censored. And if most of the health information is out there.
Okay, listen guys, I'm getting censored all the time. Yeah, is the Illuminati after me now? Is it? I spoke about the current, even though it's not so current, situation any longer. About the Kurzarbeit. I talked about it. The videos got deleted. I got blocked. Copyright strike. Blah blah blah. My channel right now got taken down again. Now it's back up again. Happens consistently to me. Do I get some sort of delusion now that I'm some sort of pioneer? This has never been done before and the Illuminati is after me. No, of course not. There's certain community guidelines on YouTube, which I personally don't agree with. I don't like them, but I have to obey their rules as much as I can. That's it. Every time I don't, I get kicked off. That's it. If you're experiencing any suppression within your channel, that is due to you not obeying their laws. This is what we get if we use their platforms. That's it. It's so simple. If you would have your own homepage on there, you wouldn't be censored. You might have been suppressed by the Google algorithm. That might be, but as long as people have access to your website, it works. That's what Alex Jones did, for example, with Infowars.com. You could do the same. You already have your page there. What was it called? For the meat. For Frank's Meat there. Frank's Meat. So yeah, there you could do videos as well. You could upload them to that platform. We all experience censorship. You're not the only one. Precious Frank.
And I'm just going to be plagiarized and copied and then censored. what's the point?
Yeah.
I could disappear. People can never see me again. And for the most part, the information is going to be there and people are going to be able to find their health. Are they going to have the accumulation of knowledge and wisdom and be able to fix their health as quickly as me? No,
Wisdom.
but I think most people, if they're
Wisdom.
looking for it, will be able
Deep
to
wisdom.
figure it out. So I'm starting to think,
And by the way, the reason why you've been losing so many views, I don't think that is due to the censorship. Thank you very much. Let me double check. Frame of Mind, thank you very much for the most generous donation of tonight. I appreciate it. $38. Whopping $38. Thank you so much for the big donation. He says, glad you're back, brother. Hope you and your family are doing well. Cheers. Thank you very much. God bless you and your family as well. We're doing quite well. As I just said, we had a birthday weekend. My son's birthday is one day after mine, so we had 2 days of celebrating. It was quite beautiful, and I spent some quality family time during the time being offline. So thank you very much. We're doing quite well. Thank you very much for the donation as well. Frame of Mind. Good to see you, man. Okay. Now, as I was saying, again, I'm not saying this to insult you. I really hope that if you hear this, you will self-reflect a little bit and think about those things. You've been losing views consistently, not only due to censorship. Censorship definitely plays a role on my channel too, but you haven't been doing a good job of staying congruent and presenting honestly, truthfully yourself to your audience. Because when the scandal came out that you were, for people that don't know, he was using I don't want to become explicit here, but he was using a dildo to do all kinds of things with it on camera for gay men. So that at least came out. Then his Instagram profile came out where he was called, what was it again? NY Gay Boy or something along those lines, where he was looking for men to date. So, I mean, it's obvious that you're a closet homosexual. It's very, very obvious. And instead of admitting that, you started making a lot of fun about gay people. So that's why it's not congruent. If you would have just not talked about it, then would be fine. But you started hating on gays and those little fairy boys and blah blah. Those were the last videos of you that I watched, because it was just annoying to see that you're obviously gay and you attacked the homos so much. So yeah, there's this incongruency, and this would be the main reason, I would claim, why your channel views are going down. Not so much the censorship.
Point, if I started all this health and nutrition stuff to try to help people, and then the business stuff too, from my business partner stealing money, having to get rid of him, getting sued by Rat Boy in federal court now for slander, just being harassed by these people for money. And I understand that I need to make basically as much money as possible to have the business, to provide people with products, to help people improve their health, and to have as much reach and influence as possible. But these other influencers want as much money as possible to give back to their group. That's my understanding of it. They make as much money as possible, they give it back to their group, whether it's selling supplements, selling their own food products. That's where they're so persistent at harassing me and trying to they post comments.
Okay, so people make money and then they reinvest it in supplements. What are you doing? When you make money, didn't you invest it into your own business? So you're saying people invest their own money into their own business. Okay.
Comments on my YouTube videos, on my Instagram pages, on my TikTok, trying to get my viewers. It's pathetic. I'm censored to the point where I haven't grown on YouTube. I've been at 100,000 for years, and they're still trying to steal my viewers from me. It's absolutely disgusting. What's the point? If the world is run by evil people...
The point is you're self-obsessed and you really think everything revolves around you. Those people do not care for you. Why would they? They simply promote what they promote. The Rat Boy is Paul Saladino. Last time I checked Paul Saladino, he was eating predominantly raw meats and fruits. That's not your advice. That is very close to a primal diet advice. That's what Paul Saladino does nowadays. He's preaching sunlight, anti-coffee, anti-wheat, and pretty much a primal diet. So that content itself is not from him either. You could say. Still alive. Choked there. So you could say that this content was maybe created by Arjunus Wonder Planets. I would say that he was the first pioneer of that. And that's about it. So, yeah, how is he still copying you? What are you doing nowadays anyways? Last time I checked, you were doing some cheat meals and eating like an Italian fat boy and blah blah and whatnot. Nobody cares. You wouldn't believe how little people care for you. And it's not only you particular, it's a certain character trait that you have. I've seen it with plenty of YouTubers as well. They really believe that because they are talking about you, you must be thinking about them consistently. But usually, we don't. That's how it usually is. So you might think, because you're consistently talking about red boy, red boy, red boy, he's thinking about you. I think he's simply surfing in Costa Rica and eating meats and fruits. Bro. That's it. So if you really keep on slandering him, okay, he sued you. I'm not a fan of those things. I have plenty of people on YouTube that slandered me. If you look for Bobby's Perspective on YouTube, the first hits are all slander videos about me. I don't care because I do reaction videos as well. And some people might interpret that as slandering as well. So I'm not into the whole suing or whatever. It's just the internet. People make videos about each other. That's how I see it. I'm pretty chill about it. Nevertheless, I think the sooner you realize that this world is not revolving around you, nor is the internet, you will be much, much happier. And this is why I recommend to really stay off the internet.
That, don't, why do I need to be here? I could go on a fucking beach for the rest of my life and not have to stress out and not have to worry about this bullshit. So that's the business side of it. I don't think I have to go into too much more detail, but I'll say one more thing. Every single one of these health influencers, look, I was basically, I felt like I was on my deathbed 3 years ago with the liver damage, especially coming back from MasterChef. My skin, my hair, my teeth, my eyes, my intelligence, every single aspect of me beats all of these health gurus out. And it's not even fucking close. It's embarrassing, to be honest, that I'm one of the best looking, healthiest looking, smartest, most... Listen, I've said it before. If I'm the best guy on the table, you guys are fucking screwed, And the way I look at that is just, this is just fucking nonsense. These people are fucking balding. They're fucking ugly. They have no understanding of health and nutrition, so they have to copy other people. And they use lies and deceit. And that's another big thing. These people will lie to your fucking face. They'll be having their ugly ass wife inject tren and steroids and D-bol into their ass, and then they'll come over to my fucking YouTube channel and tell me I'm doing steroids. They're a bunch of fucking comedians. Anyway.
Ooh, so Paul Soldino is injecting tren and stuff? I don't think so, man. I could potentially agree that he might use something. Maybe some human growth or so. Might be. I think he got pretty shredded lately. But I don't think that he's injecting trenbolone. Anyways, about the steroid use, yeah, I would agree. There was a time where you definitely blew up very, very quickly. So most definitely I would claim not netty as well. I've been around in bodybuilding, I've been around the block. So there was a time definitely where you trained with very, very little weight and you blew up quite tremendously. Respect where respect is due. And there was the time when you were looking for TRT as well. So the thing is very, very tragic, man. You've been exposed a billion times. And it's kind of like you want to be exposed. It's almost as if you want to suffer. It's like a comedy show, ultimately. You accuse people of something, then you do it yourself. Those are gays, then we find videos of you dildoing yourself. Those are little fairy boys. Then we find the Instagram where it says NYC gay boy. And so it just proceeds and proceeds and proceeds. A lot of projection, a lot of craziness. As you can see, I really mean this. I think you can see this. I have no interest in mocking you or in making fun of you, even though it would be very, very easy. I just want you to get healthy. I have this genuine love for humanity. And social media stardom that you aspire to reach doesn't do you well. It's much better to go off the internet, Frank. It really is.
Since they have control over social media and all these stuff, they censor me, promote themselves. None of that stuff matters, is what I'm
But they're not censoring you. It's the community guidelines. That's just how it is.
saying. How I look, how I articulate, all that stuff, the work I put in, doing more YouTube content really than...
How you look, you're very obsessed with looking a certain way. You can see that. That's the whole point. So for a man, it's a lot of work that you're putting in. So be it your fluffy hair, or be it the makeup, or be it the jaw surgeries, you name it. So you're putting in a lot of work into your appearance, and this is why people will talk about your appearance, because it comes across very, very female. That's just what it is.
All the health influencers on YouTube, except for a select few, yet still not getting the growth. It's just discouraging. And then on the personal end of stuff, because of the harassment, and guys, honest to God, my business is not making money. It's even. It's keeping it afloat. I can't move out of my fucking parents' house. I'm 30 years old. I go apply for a mortgage. They say, oh, you don't have any income to show. We can only approve you for like a $200,000 house, which in New York that doesn't exist. I can't live in an apartment. My health will get even worse. Then I'll really give up. The Wi-Fi radiation, the air quality. So, and my, I love my parents to death, but ever since, with them getting the injection and all that stuff, they've been different people, and I really feel like I don't have anyone anymore. So the combination of, seeing all of the people plagiarizing and copying my ideas and everything I worked on.
It's very sad to see, but ultimately what people don't realize is that's not him talking. What I mean by that is, that's his ego talking. He's so entrapped in this persona, in this thought that he is Frankie, that he is this person that is somehow a rebellious freedom fighter, and he is the good guy, and his parents now with the injection and blah. It has nothing to do with you, man. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. You need to get out of your head. First and foremost, you need God. I'm not going to make any recommendations, but Mushroom Bob inside of me is kind of coming back to life here and wants to prescribe him 30 grams of dried mushrooms in one sitting. You really need to get out of your head. It would be a good move, as you just mentioned, to move out of your parents' house and just, for the 1000th time, stay away from social media.
So hard to come up with now. People on TikTok not crediting me for it. All these people showing their BS supplements. And then what's crazy is instead of going after those people, since they're all in the club, they still just come
Which club?
after me and try to steal more from me. It's absolutely despicable.
Back then, when he made videos about me, he put me in some sort of club as well. Which club was it again? Let me just think. Cargill, I think. And that was a time when I, somebody from Europe, never heard of Cargill. I didn't even know what that is. Then I did some research and, okay, Cargill. Corn-fed animals. I'm the supporter of Cargill. Cargill supporting me. Illuminati Bob. Yeah.
As much as I've been very happy with where Frankie's Strange Meat has gotten to, where all my other businesses have gotten to, all of these vendors and people I deal with, including things as simple as UPS and the post office, and there's some integrity to these other businesses I work with because they still want my money.
Gay club, yeah.
But I'm getting jerked around left and right, and I don't see how I'm going to be able to do business on any large scale, not being in the club basically. So, I'm honestly looking for a way out the next few months. I don't know what I'm going to do. I keep saying I'm going to stick it out, but, I got the neighbor in my building trying to kick me out. I got my landlord sending a different guy down to fucking harass me every day and saying, you can't do this, you can't do that, compromising my business. And I don't have the money to move to a new facility. It's at this point, the amount of nonsense, the amount of headache, the amount of stress.
Okay, but anyways, I had enough of this. It's kind of depressing to watch. As I said already, the best thing for you is to stay off social media for a while or forever. I think that would be much, much better for you. You're not cut out for it. This social media is a Black Mirror, as the wonderful Netflix series, and it simply gives you an absolutely screwed reflection of yourself. You're not that. You're definitely not tough, guy, Frankie, muscle-bound, handsome, whatever you think you are, you're not. You're most definitely not. Find back to God and find yourself again, or find yourself for the first time, and you're going to be much, much happier. One more time. Okay, now we reach the point of the live stream when the green screen is giving up completely. That was to be expected. Let me see if I can fix this. Yeah, that's better. I like this. Maybe a little bit too bright, but at least the green screen looks a bit better. I will have to move out of this place to fix that situation. Anyways, we're gonna stick with it like so. And now, let me head to the chat again and see what's going on there. Stick his butt out, maybe. Frankie's mad because he didn't become a star. He's a loser, somebody says. Yeah, you see the resentment, of course, because that's what he really wanted to do. I mean, he went on to those TV shows. He went to those gay Hollywood movies. I don't know if it was a Hollywood movie, but gay movies, porn, etc., etc. So he really wanted to become famous, and now he's 30. So I think it's just a bit of a pre-midlife crisis. His whole iron overload thing was from eating fortified grains and vitamin A toxicity from taking Accutane. That might be, but that I didn't follow. I don't know. How is the bodybuilding going, Bobby? It's going fine, but I have to say that lately I've been so much into jiu-jitsu that bodybuilding is still not my top priority. I thought I'm going to put it onto my top priority, but just didn't work. So I'm working out, but jiu-jitsu is my number one. How does Bobby get a background like that, I wonder? It's a green screen. So what you do is you have a green screen and then you simply put an animation on it. It's easy. Enough time for the gym in between caring for your child. It's very tough. The toughest part is that you don't get enough sleep. So that is the main issue, and for bodybuilding especially, you need regeneration. So you need a lot of sleep. I mean, for jiu-jitsu as well, for any type of sport, but for bodybuilding specifically, for growth. And yeah, that is quite tough with having a kid. I still do it, but it's tough. Yeah, but I always find the time for my kid. Okay. Does YouTube count as social media? Yes, absolutely. Of course. I get bad vibes from this guy. Yeah, I think it's just this incongruency. People, they have very, very little self-awareness. It's quite amazing to see, and especially on social media, you see that quite often. They really believe that people won't see through their BS. I will grant them that many people won't see through your BS because many people are, frankly, retarded. That's just how it is. So many people nowadays, they have no BS radar, and with that you can get away with a lot of things on social media. But the real ones know. So most people that still have a little bit of common sense left, they see through those fake characters on YouTube. An ass bandit. Vegan haircut. Yes, 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 yes. That's an amazing name. I love it. He doesn't understand why people won't treat him like a regular guy. If you're gay, you're not a regular guy. That's just the way that it is. Yeah, it's that, and moreover, again, it's just this incongruency with everything. He's been caught lying multiple times, over and over again, and he's delusional, quite frankly. I really mean this. He's really sick in the head. He needs help. Welcome back, Bobby, says Mommy Does Keto. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Did you grow up eating healthy, Bobby? No, not at all. I ate terrible. Cherry pie, yeah, kinda. Something like that. I think Frank got neglected and bullied as a child. Probably bullied, might be. That's not a vegan haircut, that's an Asian haircut. That's true, an Asian male haircut. Please get it right. Marvin, schön, dass du wieder da bist, Bobby. Danke, Marvin. Okay, anyways, how long am I at it already? It doesn't show. 1 second, let me check. Here we are. 2 hours and 12 minutes. Huh? That passed fast. Alright, guys. I think I'm gonna slowly but surely tune out. Let me stay back for 5 more minutes. So if you want to send super chats or Streamlabs donations, now is the time. And then I'm gonna tune out. So 5 more minutes I'm gonna be here. Then I'm tuning out. Let me just double check the time. And tomorrow, as I said, we're gonna be back with a born vegetarian that turned meat eater and then found God. So that should be very, very interesting. Rild Katze says, thank God you're back again. Looking forward to the German vids. Yeah, I definitely have to make more German vids or German videos at all again. And videos in general. So this week I have a lot of work to do, but I have a lot of work aside from YouTube as well. So we'll see how that goes. Accutane is one of the most toxic drugs to ever hit the market, destroying lives for 40 years. Dermatologists prescribing this garbage need to die. Yeah, I don't know if they need to die, but I had a friend, I have a friend actually, that got it prescribed when he was a kid. 14 years old, 15 years old, something like that, and he got suicidally depressed, absolutely manic. So that medicine destroyed the guy. I think nowadays he's recovered from it, but that was tough. Really, really tough. Do you eat processed meats? No, I don't. I eat smoked meats, so that might be processed, but other than that, no. What if you lift light for endurance and mix with compound exercises for a start, Bob? That's pretty much what I do. I don't lift heavy anymore. I used to, and yeah, I just destroyed my body. I'm genetically not laid out for heavy lifting consistently. I noticed that, even though I used to lift quite a bit. I think my strongest deadlift was 240 kilograms. So I think that's pretty heavy. Squat as well, 240 kilograms, something in those lines. So I was quite strong. 160, I think I moved once on the bench press, something in those lines. It's such a long time ago. 160 kilograms. So yeah, I was quite strong, but it's just unhealthy. The human body is not laid out to move such weights. So therefore nowadays I'm just using it for strengthening, and that's it. I was following both of you when you exposed him and it saddened me. Yeah, that's a video that I removed. And I mean, it was just the reality, right? It was nothing that I made up. It was just the reality about Frank. So I did a compilation of him saying that everybody's a fairy boy and everybody's gay and this and that. And then I just showed, censored of course, the videos of him dildoing his butt. And after uploading it, I felt sad as well, because I realized this guy's really gone. He's not a human being that you can confront that way, because I think he's really mentally ill. And the same applies to plenty of other people on YouTube yet again. So I'm always cautious nowadays, and I don't really have some deep defined judgment on those people. I could criticize. I always take it as light as I can, but then after a while, when I notice that somebody is really mentally ill, I kind of stay out of it, because I don't want to be the person that pushed him over the edge. What fruit or veg do you eat? Vegetables I don't eat at all. Fruits, I love mangoes. I like papayas, but we don't have papayas here. So I eat apples rarely, very, very rarely. And yeah, that's about it. So I think the only thing that I was eating, a little bit of watermelon. Yeah, a bit of watermelon and mangoes. That's it. What's your view on seed oils? Cancer. Bobby, what do you think on psychedelic-induced psychosis? So from what I've seen and what I know is that if you haven't gotten psychedelic-induced psychosis after the use of, let's say, 1, 2, 3 times psychedelics, then you probably won't get it. That's what we know so far. It seems that if you don't get the psychosis after the first 3 trips, then you shouldn't be able to be pushed over that threshold. That's what we know so far. Could be wrong, but that's what we know so far. And that being said, if you have this predisposition, then it's messed up. Because imagine, you're just doing 1 trip and then you have psychosis for the rest of your life. Congratulations. So now people could say, yeah, but then something else could have triggered it. Could have. I don't think so. Because nothing has a stronger effect on your psyche than psychedelics. Or weed can do similar things as well. I've seen that too. So if you have a predisposition, it can definitely push you over the edge and then you have a psychosis. That's how it goes. But I would say that it's not only psychedelics that can induce psychosis. They can do that right away for people that have this genetic predisposition. But regular, quote-unquote regular, hard drugs can do that too. So if you use, for example, amphetamines too much, MDMA too much, that can mess up your brain chemistry as well. And that ultimately can push you over the edge too, slowly but surely, and change your perception, bring you anxiety, etc., etc. Yeah. Why don't you eat vegetables? Because I can't digest them, and they make me feel terrible. So that's why I don't eat them, and I don't see a point in eating them. There is absolutely nothing within the vegetable that I would need in my diet. I eat organ meats. I eat a lot of meat in general, eggs, plenty of it raw, so there's nothing that I would need. Bobby, danke nochmal. Kein Problem, Brate. How do you like Ivar? Ivar is a capsicum, a pepper paste that we use in the Balkan a lot. I would have to claim that it's Bulgarian, obviously, but everybody on the Balkans is eating Ivar. I personally am not a huge fan. I have a jar here. When my mother visited, she brought the Ivar. So I use it sporadically with my meats. It's fine if you like it, but I'm just not a huge fan. And as somebody from Macedonia, I am blaspheming right now. So I definitely should love Ivar, I guess. But it's definitely not my thing. I'm not a huge fan. But I know plenty of German guys that actually really love Ivar. I have a German friend who moved to Australia. And in Australia, he showed me a picture with Ivar from Macedonia. Proudly. He eats Ivar every day. Children hit with Title 9. I like Frank. That's good. For people that like him. I had a friend who went crazy for a while after too many mushroom trips. I think he's doing better now. Yeah, I mean, going crazy, it depends how you see it, right? Some people, when they encounter the psychedelic realm, they have so much spiritual insight that it just shatters their worldview. And then they get into different types of stuff. So I know some people that got into crystals, new age parties, etc., etc. They gave up their wealth. And that's why they got kind of crazy, because it was a downward spiral. But the psychedelics itself, if done in a proper setting, in 99% of cases, it's beneficial. Do you like kaimak? Next month when I go to Serbia, I will eat a whole bucket. I'm not a fan of kaimak either, man. I'm a weird Balkan guy. I don't like Ivar and kaimak. It's really not for me. What makes someone mentally ill? I think ultimately it's all spiritual. Of course, we can find certain reasoning, what happens chemically within the brain. But I would make the argument that even those chemical imbalances, or why the person went down the road to get to that point, would be of a spiritual nature. I'm a firm believer that God can heal anything. I really am, because I've seen it. Hello Bobby, hello Anina, good to see you. Okay. Alright guys, anyways, it has been almost 2.5 hours. I spent my last 5 minutes here as well. As I said already, for the 10,000th time, tomorrow we're going to be back at 5 p.m. European time. Just convert that to your time, 5 p.m. European time. That is roughly 1 hour earlier than this live stream. And we're going to live stream with a born vegetarian that turned meat eater and then found God. Actually, do me a favor, guys, because I'm going to link the live stream hopefully today still, if not tomorrow. If you're listening to this, please do me a favor and post your questions underneath, so we have some more questions that we can ask our guest. And of course, we're going to take super chats again, Streamlabs donations, of course, and so you can ask live too. All right, but this is it for today's live stream, for the first live stream in roughly a month. It really feels good to be back. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I hope you did too. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow again. And if you haven't liked the stream, then do it now. Like the stream. Give it a thumbs up. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Support the channel in the description box. We have a lot of links there for raw grass-fed organs as well. So check that out, please. And support this channel, because we are censored by the Illuminati, just as Frank. Alright guys, but this is it for today. As always, may God bless you all. Much love and peace.